All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful tool for making some real changes in your life. It's especially for anyone out there who kind of feels like their story's already been written for them. It's called the script burn protocol. It's too late. Man. Ever had that thought just pop into your head? Maybe you're thinking about a different career or something in your personal life. It's just a heavy thought, right? And for a lot of us, especially once we hit midlife, it feels like that one's on a constant loop. So you have to ask yourself, are thoughts like that just background noise? Or have they actually become the main plot of your entire story? The truth is, so many of us are living out these internal stories that, if we're honest, we didn't even consciously write. Okay, so let's really dive into this idea of scripts. Think of them as the lines we just keep repeating to ourselves over and over again. They become so familiar that they start to dictate our choices, our actions, and yeah, our whole lives. And more often than not, they're the exact things keeping us stuck. Now, there's a specific name for these, a limiting identity statement. And I want you to look really closely at that definition. It's not a truth. It's a script. The only power it has is from sheer repetition. It's like walking the same path across a field every single day. Eventually, a trail gets worn in and it looks permanent. It starts to feel like a fact, but it's not. Do any of these sound familiar? I always mess things up. I'm broken. I can't change. And there's our old friend, it's too late. You know, seeing them all listed out like this, it kind of makes you realize they're just words, right? They're not some undeniable truth about who you are. So if these are just scripts, can we edit them? Or even better, can we just get rid of them entirely? Well, this is where the script burn protocol comes into play. It's a very direct, very intentional tool designed for one thing, to dismantle these false identities we've been carrying around for way too long. The purpose here is super clear and pretty profound. It's all about shining a spotlight on these scripts, seeing them for the imposters they are, and then systematically stripping away their influence over you. This isn't just about thinking positive thoughts, you know? It's an active process of clearing out the negative programming that's been running your life. So, how does this actually work? Well, it's a simple 5-step drill. It's designed to be really direct, something you can literally do right after you finish watching this. So, let's just walk through it together. Here's the roadmap. First, we identify the script. Then, we read it out loud. Third, we visualize the burn. Fourth, and this is a big one, we acknowledge the shift. And finally, we close the drill. Just 5 clear steps to start taking back control of your own narrative. Okay, step 1 is all about getting these thoughts out of your head. You grab a journal and you just write down every single one of these limiting statements. Don't judge, don't edit, just get them out and onto the page so you can actually look at them. Now, this next step might feel a little strange, but trust me, it's powerful. You take that list and you read it out loud. There's something about hearing those words in your own voice. Suddenly they don't feel like deep-seated facts anymore. They start to sound like what they are. Just old, outdated patterns. Step 3 is the burn itself. And no, you don't need to actually set anything on fire, so don't worry. This is a mental exercise. You just close your eyes and you vividly imagine those sentences on the page just catching fire, turning to ash, breaking apart. It's a symbolic act, but it creates this really powerful cognitive break from that old identity. So what happens next is absolutely crucial. Step 4, acknowledge the shift. Now, notice the wording here. You don't need some shiny new positive identity to slap on top of the old one. Nope. You just have to stop operating from the old script. You're creating a space, a pause. That's it. And finally, step 5. This is how you close the drill. It couldn't be simpler. You just take one single, slow, conscious breath. In and out. That's it. It grounds you right here in the present moment, and it just solidifies the work you've just done. It's like putting a period at the end of a very long, very old sentence. So what happens after? You've gone through the steps. Now what? Well, this isn't about some instant, magical transformation. It's about what comes next. It's about that quiet, open space that you've just created for yourself. After that final breath, there's one last thing to do. You say this sentence out loud. This script is not mine anymore. It's a declaration. It's you consciously disowning that old story that has been holding you back. You're telling yourself, that's not me, not anymore. Let's really land on this, because it's the whole point. The goal of the script burn isn't to frantically scribble down a new, better script right away. The real goal is to simply create space, to give yourself a blank page by consciously, deliberately, and finally letting go of the old one. And that brings us right here. The protocol is done, the old story is gone, and the page, well, the page is now blank. It's waiting for a new author. So the only question left is the one on your screen. Your old script is gone. What will you write now?